I will show you how to use full site editing in WordPress. I'm using my acting portfolio as an example. I just recently redid the site using the default theme 2022, which uses full site editing. So I just kind of add this notice in the bottom. So full site editing is a way of actually customizing, modifying the whole website at once. So I can modify the header, the content, and the footer area. So here we see the front page. I am then logged in. You see the black bar here. So in this another tab here, I have two custom posts. One for LA Diary from Los Angeles 2003, and one called Norway Diary from various acting and modeling I've done in Norway. So I will start by just showing the appearance here. Usually this is filled with options, for instance the customizer and other options, the theme editor. Here you just choose a theme, and there is the editor and beta, and still in beta. So it's getting better and better, so I decided to actually use it for this site. So right now we're seeing the page template. So, and in it we have, I will click here, and we see it says template header. So this is then the header area. It says header right here, and in here we have post content. I'll just leave it as it is. So post content here is actually when I want to modify the front page, but this is then up the page template. So on the bottom here we have then the footer. You can see footer here. I can change this with another footer if I want by going to clicking the three dots here and replace footer. So I can choose from different footers here and replace the one that's there already. So I'm not going to do that because I'm happy with the footer I have. So I can click up here. I have my own logo here. It would by default be the W for WordPress. I click it, I can go back to dashboard. Here I can choose going to templates or template parts. So I will go to templates. So there's things I've done here. As you see, there says Los Angeles category chapter 8, template for chapter 8, chapter 7, chapter 6. And I created these unique chapters or template for the chapters by clicking add new. And there's a lot of options in here. So I click then to add the Los Angeles category. This is then again the custom post type. I also have one for Norway category. Here I can then do all Los Angeles categories, or I can do a specific item. So what I did was I added one for the various chapters here that you see right in here. So I will just go into one. I'll just click it. It will open chapter 8. I put in some information in the heading. I will keep the header as it is for all the different pages. So we have then the spacer, and I see there is then the image that is then I have deleted. I need to replace that, so I'm actually going to do that right away. So right here we see then I have a plugin for the media library. I will just show you plugins in a bit. So I'll just stretch this out a little bit, and I will find it cheaper by the dozen. I'll go to here and acting. And I need then a cheaper by dozen right here, and we got that in place. So we have then I'll click in here. I'll just look here on the bottom. It says post template and query loop. And also remember, we can click here called list view to get an overview of the different blocks that I have in this layout right here. So I will go to query loop. And in here, I've selected then to turn off inherit query from template. And I select the post type LA Diary, oldest to newest, and then chapter 8, because that's what I'm showing right here. So I can choose replace for another query pattern if I want. So this will just show various patterns. It is a little bit slow right now. So I can scroll down and select something else if I want to use instead. I can also go in and modify the various areas in here. And I can see over here what I've selected, and also here on the bottom. So that is then the query loop for chapter 8. I will go out of that. Actually, I can save first. Save. And then I'm going saved here now. I will exit here. I will go back to templates. And here I made a template for each chapter for Los Angeles chapters. So here is then the single. This is meant for all the single posts that I have. So here is the post title and post date. And I'm also here, this is kind of special done. This box here, I added a group, put in categories. And since this single template is used for Los Angeles diary and Norwegian diary, as well as the regular categories, the blog posts, I had to add then the Los Angeles categories, Norway categories, and regular categories, so that, for instance, if I use Los Angeles or Norway or the standard blog categories, there will be some information here, as well as below here. If I just put in categories and tags, and then for the custom post type Los Angeles and Norway, I would not see any of the categories or tags at all that are special for these. Okay, I might be saying this in a little bit confusing way, but I just had to add in the custom post type categories and tags here, along with the standard categories and tag here. So we have previous and next. I added in a share. This is in a share plugin. So a person can just share this post in these different channels. And this is just this is a plugin. So this is then a standard WordPress where I have it's called the social icons block. That is in Core and Gutenberg and block editor right now. So okay, I'm going out of this, and let's go back to templates. So these are then default 2022. There's no dot beside these because I've not done anything with these. I've done something with these because I did a mistake in the beginning. I thought these were then had to do with all the posts, but I had to go into a single post and use that for all my posts for custom post type and regular posts. So here's the 404 when a person goes to the wrong link. So I customized then the 404 page, which shows up if somebody enters the wrong link. So I can exit this. I'm going back to the dashboard, and in appearance, since there is no customizer and there is no then additional CSS section available, I added in a snippets plugin. I have purchased the Pro plugin for code snippets plugin, so I can add in various information that I need here. So let's look at the plugins I've decided to use for this site. This is then the media organizer. Akismet is the default. I'm using all-in-one security. I'm also using a breadcrumb block. This has not been added yet to Gutenberg. This is then Code Snippets Pro, custom post type UI. I'm using that then to that's the one I used for creating my custom post types here. So I like to use this discourage search engine notifier because it gives a little icon up here showing that it's red if it's off, discourage, or green that it's indexing the site, or Google and other search engines can index the site. Duplicate Pro is a backup software I use, and here's the regular Gutenberg. Coco Analytics is a nice analytics and very light analytics plugin. I use Lightspeed Cache for a faster site here. I'm using Ninja Forms here for the moment, and here's then the social sharing block made by Nick. And I'm using the SEO framework, and I'm also using a WP map block. So I'll go to the front page here again. So let's look at some of this. I have a blog then for LA Diary. So here I need to adjust this as well. So I'm going to go in and straight away just kind of replace this and get that in place. And there will be various things along the way that I will need to modify and take care of. Okay, so I'll just save this page and view page. So here we have chapter 1, chapter 2. I have a little bit of information for each. So when I click this, it will then go and use then the template. I will also need to modify this. I'll do that later on. It will use LA category chapter 1, and this is then the template I used for chapter 1 for Los Angeles. So I have similar for acting in Norway. Here's a little bit easier structure. I decided to put a link to these in the one page. Acting in Norway, it will go straight to the different entries. Chapter 2 straight to the entries. It does not use a template for that, so it's a little bit different layout compared to LA Diary. So okay, so that gives a kind of overview of how I've used full site editing on this website. So some of the problems I actually met along the way was inserting various blocks in the templates. So if I want to add for instance a new block down here or above, or here it showed up, you can insert a new block or a pattern. So it was kind of tricky getting that to show up. It's not really showing up here. So for that, I have then just kind of inserted a block here, or I will go here and figure out where I want to do something. I can then add insert before or after the spacer if I want to do it that way. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to add right now. Thank you.